Welcome to the YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub, your one-stop solution for expert guidance, best practices, and actionable knowledge in the world of contact centers. Explore, learn, and enhance contact center skills. Welcome to today's session, where we'll break down one of the most critical performance metrics in contact centers, average wait time, or AWT. In this module, we'll explore AWT in a structured and practical way. By the end of this session, you'll not only know what AWT is, but also why it matters, what drives it up or down, and how it connects directly to customer satisfaction, efficiency, and business results. So, let's get started and build a complete framework for understanding average wait time. Let's start by understanding the definition of average wait time, or AWT. Average wait time is the average duration a customer spends in the queue before their call is answered by a live agent. The measurement begins the moment the customer enters the queue, right after the IVR or auto-attendant process. It ends the instant an agent picks up the call. Now, it's important to note, unlike an individual queue time, which may vary case by case, AWT is an aggregated performance metric. It reflects the experience across all answered calls. Why does this matter? Because AWT is directly connected to critical performance outcomes. It influences your service level, it shapes customer satisfaction scores, or CSAT, and it heavily impacts abandonment rates, how many customers simply give up and disconnect. So, mastering AWT isn't just about efficiency, it's about safeguarding customer experience and protecting business results. Now that we've defined average wait time, let's move to the formula. Average wait time, or AWT, is calculated as total wait time of all answered calls divided by the number of answered calls. Here's how it works. The total wait time is the sum of all the durations customers spent waiting in the queue, but only for those calls that were actually answered. The number of answered calls represents how many calls were picked up by live agents. And remember, abandoned calls are excluded from this calculation. In simple terms, AWT tells us, on average, how long a customer waits to speak with an agent. It is one of the most reliable indicators of both operational efficiency and customer patience thresholds. Let's bring the formula to life with a simple example. Imagine a day's call data with 4 answered calls. Call 1 waited 40 seconds. Call 2 waited 80 seconds. Call 3 waited 100 seconds. And call 4 waited 60 seconds. Now, let's add these together. 40 plus 80 plus 100 plus 60 equals a total wait time of 280 seconds. Next, we divide this by the number of answered calls, in this case, 4. So, 280 divided by 4 gives us an average wait time of 70 seconds. That means, on average, customers were waiting just over a minute before speaking with an agent. This simple scenario shows how quickly wait times can add up, and why tracking AWT is so important for both efficiency and customer experience. Now let's look at the key components that impact average wait time, or AWT. First, call volume and forecast accuracy. Sudden spikes in inbound calls, caused by promotions, system outages, or seasonal peaks, can instantly increase wait times. If your forecasting is poor, or if you're understaffed, customers will feel the effect through a much higher AWT. Second, staffing and workforce management. The number of agents available compared to the demand directly drives wait times. Even if you forecast well, poor schedule adherence or higher absenteeism will reduce the number of available agents, and once again, AWT goes up. In short, Both the accuracy of your planning and the discipline of your staffing are critical levers in managing customer wait time. Moving on to the next set of factors that shape average wait time. Third, routing and queue design. When routing is skill-based, calls are directed to the right agent with the right expertise, which means faster handling and shorter waits. But if routing rules are too complex, or if skills are misaligned, customers end up waiting longer in the wrong queues, driving AWT higher. Fourth, technology and automation. Here, tools like IVR self-service and AI-powered chatbots can significantly reduce queue loads by resolving simple queries upfront. Additionally, callback options can lower the perceived wait time, allowing customers to step away while still holding their place in line. In short, smarter routing and modern automation aren't just conveniences, they're essential strategies for keeping wait times under control. Finally, let's explore the last two components that impact average wait time. Fifth, Service Level Agreements, or SLAs. Many SLAs clearly define what's considered an acceptable wait time. For example, 80% of calls answered within 20 to 30 seconds. If you consistently breach these thresholds, it doesn't just hurt customer satisfaction, it may also trigger financial penalties in outsourced environments. Sixth, query complexity. Not all calls are created equal. When a larger share of customer queries are complex, requiring more investigation, more steps, or higher expertise, agents naturally spend longer on each call. The result? Fewer free agents available and longer wait times for customers still in queue. Together, SLAs set the benchmark you must meet, and query complexity shapes the real-world challenge in meeting those targets. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. See you in the next video.